This is a regular scheduled meeting of the Franklin Township Environmental Commission. In accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act, PL 1975, Chapter 231, adequate notice of this meeting has been posted. Roll call. I'm sorry, I didn't put it up. Ms. Rodriguez, what's her first name? The new member.
Maria Santiago.
Maria?
Yeah, Santiago.
Yeah.
She's not there, right?
No.
Okay. Sil McAvoy.
Right here.
Diane Podesky. Robin Sudan. Arnold Smith.
Here.
Stan.
Garage here.
Okay, Walter Andrews, I'm here. Paul Walensky.
Here.
Ted Chase.
Here.
And Jessica Johnson.
Here.
Okay. Now, we have a little, let's see, what is the first thing here? It should be the minutes, right? Chair report.
Chair report.
Yeah, nothing really earth-shaking. I'm still trying to contact Ann Jack. And as you know, the township, Anne Marie, requires that we report quarterly the attendance. So immediately after this meeting, which is the last meeting of the year, it would be the end of the quarter, I have to prepare the report and I'll send that to her. Otherwise, I think you all have been copied on, I guess, a sort of a change in the way some of the posting of the meeting notices and so forth have been taking place. And I guess IT is a little more involved, specifically Bob McQueen. And he has posted the first 6 months of meetings in 2021. And we'll have to see how that works. But otherwise, that's sort of the chair report. And I noticed that some of you requested, special permission, not special permission, but notified us that you wanted to report, I guess, the Princeton groundwater ordinance, I guess, and some of the other things that you have been working on. You've been busy all the time. So we can just move right into the next phase of the agenda.
Well, Stan wanted to talk about how Princeton does their meetings.
Yeah. We're going to do that down on the new business. Okay. And thank you. So the website email, anything new there?
Who's this?
Sorry. There's nothing, no emails at all.
Okay.
Actually.
All right.
Walter, I was dropped for a second there. I didn't see that. Did you say something about the minutes? Did we skip over the minutes for a reason?
Oh, no. You're right. Yeah, there have been several, I guess, additions to the minutes. And I think for the
November 16th, I think we can.
November 16th, there was some changes. And I think Ted has incorporated them.
Yes, so can I have a motion to approve the 11/16 minutes? I'll second that.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded that we approve the 11/16 minutes, which Ted has prepared. All in favor, let it know saying aye.
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 Any opposed, say nay. Abstain. Thank you. And we're still working on the December, was it 7th?
Paul was abstained because he was, Paul, we were voting for the meeting minutes 11/16.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we already passed them. Yes, but just a second ago when Paul was talking with someone, so
No, I said I heard it and I said yes.
Oh, you did? Okay, good.
Yeah. No, I heard. I was just on the other side of the table here.
Okay, good. Okay.
I sent a revised version of the minutes this afternoon with Stan's latest revision in it.
Yeah, those are the ones that I was speaking of. That's what I assumed everybody had seen it. And that's what we were voting on.
These were, no, we were voting on 11/16 because
Yeah,
this was still lingering.
The December 7th minutes.
Okay. Okay, all right.
Stan wanted.
These were minor details. It's just specific numbers when I was reporting on the township electric vehicle usage. So since the numbers were there, I just wanted to make sure that the numbers were correct.
I'll make
That's
a
all.
motion to approve those minutes.
Second the motion.
It's been moved and second that we approve the December 12th, I'm sorry, 7th. That meeting minutes as corrected.
Yes.
All right. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstention? Thank you. Thank you. So we were a little behind on the minutes, so I'll make sure that those get posted. And I know it's a little work on Ted's part, but I appreciate him, going at it the way he does and get it done. I think on the website, our minutes look very good. All right. Now, we talked about the website media, social media, and there was nothing there. Now, plan review. I guess we have a number of ways of getting at the plans. We can go in ourselves and look at the meeting dates and see if the agenda has been posted by planning or, by Mark Healy for zoning and go in and look ourselves. But sometimes, it depends on whether it's late in the week or I don't know specifically what day he tends to do that. So I always ask him to share with us, any that should be coming up. And I don't remember him responding to my last one, but I know Ted had talked about what's up for planning. And I believe we asked Cecile.
Yes.
Cecile. Yes.
I
Go
have
ahead.
paperwork on
Okay.
3 Ronson LLC. I can go ahead with that if you like.
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay. It was carried to January 20th meeting of the planning board. This is a application that came before the planning board some time ago, and it was for a drive-through ATM and a restaurant, a fast food restaurant with a drive-through. But the owner, the applicant, did not have a fast food renter yet, and he didn't know who he was going to have. So the planning board told them that they needed to come back for final approval on this when they found out who was applying for this. It turns out it's Dunkin' Donuts. This is a very busy corner. It's a 5-acre site on the corner of Route 27 and Veronica. And we know how busy that gets during rush hour. One of the concerns the planning board had before when they came was if the drive-through would generate a queue line that would spill over particularly into the roadway, which would be completely unacceptable in that location. And as we all know, Dunkin' Donuts on the corner of New Brunswick Road and Elizabeth Avenue in that little shopping center does have that problem.
Didn't we review this like 6 months ago or something, or even longer ago than that? Because I know they've already put in at that site, the site they're talking about, they've already put in some kind of drive-in ATM.
Right. That was approved. That part was approved. We didn't feel there would be enough of a queue line for that. But for a fast food restaurant, when they didn't know who it was going to be, we told them they had to come back. Well, now they're back. Now that they know it's Dunkin' Donuts. Okay.
Okay.
One of the things that came up is there was 70% impervious surface allowed. They proposed 72.5%, which is just a little bit over. But I think one of the recommendations the environmental committee should be making is that if they put pervious pavement down, it will correct that. And they won't need that. Okay, that was environmental. They are in the area that they have to get a permit by the Delaware Raritan Canal Commission, DRCC. They do need that. So that will be looked at. But it was pointed out by our engineering department that the amount of water going into the infiltration basin is less, no, it is more than the amount coming, less than the amount coming out. So that means it's not working right. So they need to readjust that. Another problem was light spillage into the right of way. Another problem was their trash area was not sufficiently far enough apart from their eating area. They did not provide any outdoor seating at all. Their crosswalks and bike pathways were not designated by any kind of difference, like brick pavers or color differences to indicate that's where they were. Another thing they pointed out, the exit lane is 9 feet wide instead of the 10 feet required. A couple other things they pointed out was in the queue line, which we were concerned about, is their present queue line allows for 5 cars to stack up before the information kiosk where you order from. Then from that kiosk to the window where you pick up your food is 81 feet, which allows 4 cars to sit there. So that's only 9 cars that's being allowed for. And I don't think for that particular intersection that's enough. That basically is all the problems that I noted with this application. And these are all things that are going to be covered when they come before the planning board on January 20th. But the specific thing that the environmental committee needs to be interested in is that stormwater infiltration basin, which is not doing its job.
Okay.
And the impervious surface, that it's only 2.5% greater than what's allowed, but still, if they were to change that to pervious surface, it wouldn't be necessary.
Cecile, do they have on-site parking?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
the area that could be pervious,
Yes.
because they do bring tractor trailers in to bring the supplies.
Oh,
I've seen that on Elizabeth.
They have parking for 155 cars. Well, evidently there's some quibbling about whether it's 155 or 157. I really don't.
But that's an area where we could recommend the pervious surface on the parking area.
They have actually cut down on the existing parking and are proposing to plant trees behind the second building that exists on the property, and also a square in the space between the 2 buildings, which is admirable. Doesn't solve the problems of the queuing line. And I think the turn into the queuing line is too sharp. A large truck, I think, wouldn't be able to make it.
I also saw there was a recommendation for columnar type trees rather than wide branching trees, because space is at a minimum there.
Yeah. I suspect that they read the engineer's report, and that's why they postponed the hearing. we'll
Yes.
probably see new plans.
That is the reason. They knew that we were going to be unhappy with it. That's why they did postpone it.
Okay.
So when they come back on January 20th, this may, hopefully, a lot of this will have changed.
Okay. But we will have put our comments out there, and anyway,
Yes,
Yeah, I've made notes. I'll get an
Thank
email
you.
out to Christine
Okay.
Woodbury early
Okay.
tomorrow morning.
yes.
so Paul or anybody, now Healy didn't respond to me on my request for any plans that should be up for review by us at this meeting. Are there any others that other than this particular one?
I haven't seen them. There's Ted may know there was something 598 or 498 plan. That,
Okay.
I don't know whose that was, but I haven't gotten into that one.
No.
Can we find that and get
That might
into
be
it?
on the zoning side.
Stan,
Yes.
which one is this, Paul? The one that the planning board should be having up for their next meeting?
There was something like a 498 or something it said on it. That was the beginning of the title. Did you
I
see that
don't
at all,
know.
Stan?
I haven't seen that.
You haven't
I'm
seen that
actually
yet?
on
Okay.
the website. I'm trying to find the information primarily that Steele was talking about because I was not sure.
About which item, Stan?
It was on the northern corner of Veronica and Route 27.
Yeah.
Yes. It's 3
No.
Bronson LLC.
Isn't on the northern corner. That's part of the shopping center where Stop and Shop is then?
No, it's the other side of Veronica.
Yeah, it's the other side.
Where the
There's,
urgent
Corner.
care center.
Okay, yeah, there's nothing
there
on
is
that corner.
already a small plaza.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, that's a busy corner.
Very busy corner.
Zoning board planning.
Yeah, I
Do
see
you
it
see
too.
this, Stan?
Yeah,
I see the plan review for the Middlebush projects, then assisted living,
that's the solar cells. Yeah.
but I don't see. When is it scheduled for?
Well, it was scheduled for last week. It is now scheduled for January 20th.
Oh, okay. So I'm actually looking now.
Can you see?
Elizabeth Avenue, that one?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
And so what do you want me to do now?
Well, she went through it, but I guess
No, on
we
Elizabeth
talked about-
Avenue is a different one.
Yeah,
No,
Elizabeth
this
Avenue,
is-
this is
well-
Veronica and Route 27, Stan.
Do you see the picture I'm showing you, Stan?
Yeah.
Second, I'm going back.
Stan, if you're going down Veronica Avenue towards 27, it's on the left-hand side.
I know. Wait a second. Let me see. Still is showing, but because it's WebEx, it doesn't. I see just small icon. But anyway, it's the yellow frame, right? So
Yeah,
I see.
yeah.
I know.
Yes, that's the intersection, and that yellow.
So
circle is
right
the
now there is a green lawn there, and it's adjacent to the Citibank ATM and Central Jersey Urgent Care of Somerset. So that
Yeah.
would be. So that would be between Veronica Avenue and these.
Veronica Avenue and Route 27.
No.
Yeah.
The yellow frame was between Veronica Avenue and the Central Jersey Urgent Care of Somerset, so to speak,
Yeah.
which is.
Yeah.
So this is very narrow. Yeah.
Yes.
So I understand that that would be, yeah, they want to have business because it's busy intersection, but at the same time, you don't want to overload it. So I understand what you are talking about.
Yeah, it appears there are a tremendous amount of problems with the place, but we need to focus on the environmental concerns. So what environmental concerns are there?
I think it is too, the impervious surface, which is only a little bit over the limit, and the stormwater stuff.
Right, and
The-
was
the
there
drainage.
was there a lighting thing that you said also?
No, I didn't.
No? Okay, I
Now,
thought,
Seal said that the lighting will spill light onto Veronica,
right,
but that's fixable.
right.
Yeah,
Well,
they
there,
just gotta use cutoffs
there,
on the fixtures.
and there is no residential space anyway,
No.
so the
It's all
lighting
commercial.
Commercial.
is not hurting anyone.
Yeah.
No, I think the impervious would be the only one.
Okay.
Well, the operation of the drainage basin, and there are, the engineer raised some questions about that.
Yeah.
Yes, I mentioned that about the amount coming out is faster than the amount coming in. And so that means it isn't working right because it's supposed to delay the water. It's supposed that a retention basin is supposed to retain the water and hold it. So it's
Right.
going out slower, not faster.
So the burden is on the township to correct that, right?
No,
No,
no, it's
No,
on the owner of the
The
site.
engineers of
Oh, okay.
stormwater basin have to engineer it correctly so it meets the requirements.
Okay.
The area is already heavily developed. There's lots of impervious
It's all
surface.
impervious surface on that corner. You've got that other little shopping center. It's got a delicatessen. It's got a hairdresser. You've got
Got a bakery.
Trinity Labs in there. It's a little busy shopping center.
So Seal, the stormwater management problem is occurring before they even put this Dunkin' Donuts in. So the responsibility of that system is the owner of that whole little
Yes. Well, the owner
development there.
of this little site that's about to be developed, yes, they have to.
Oh no, that's not my question. The Dunkin' Donuts, you're saying when you say this little site, you're talking about the Dunkin' Donuts is going to be responsible?
No, they're
No.
going to rent it. This is
Right.
be
Okay.
rented out. It's going to be the owner of it.
Okay.
The owner of Dunkin' Donuts?
Three runs.
the owner of the property.
Okay, and that's what I'm saying is that there's already a problem. Even if Dunkin' Donuts doesn't go in there, they need to fix this.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that was the only point that I was trying to make.
So they can call in the owner to the meeting, to apprise him of the problem and ask him what he's going to do about it. But that's in January, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So why don't we provide, sounds to me like 3 sets of comments. One on the impervious surface, I guess the retention basin. What was the other?
The lighting, the spillover lighting.
Oh, okay. All right. Gotcha.
So would it be, and I don't know, I'm just asking, would it be appropriate for us to say before that this is even considered that the stormwater management issue should be corrected and then they should be applying for this? I don't know if it's our place to say that or not.
Well, it's part of environmental. I think we could say something. Wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, but this is in order to get this application approved, they have to meet with the requirements. Otherwise, they already on the rest of the shopping center, They already have a certificate of occupancy. They don't need any approvals. I think the most practical way of doing this is what we're doing. We're waiting for it to come before the board and then telling them what they have to do.
Yeah, I agree.
Sounds good, Seal.
Okay. All right, let's, now did we conclude that there are no other plans that we need to review tonight, or that we haven't already reviewed?
I'm unaware of any.
Yeah.
I haven't found any.
Okay, all right. Then let's move
Okay.
along. So thank you, Seal, for working on that.
You're welcome.
Okay, and on the new business, I don't have the agenda. I guess I don't. Hold on here. Okay, we have on the. I had just had.
Walter, I just made Maria Santiago a panelist. She
Oh,
came in.
oh, okay.
There she is.
So she should be marked as present for the meeting.
Okay. So, what she used the wrong link to. She joined as a guest, right?
You're muted, Jessica.
It doesn't matter. She's here now.
Okay. All right. All right. Okay. So under new business, you know, I know Stan, you had something you wanted to talk about, but I just had updates of what we had already been discussing, and you know, it was a review of our website, especially the EC page, to look for, you know, suggestions of problems or improvements, and we were going to look at other municipalities' websites to see if we can gain anything, including Princeton, Hillsborough, and Montclair, and New Brunswick. And we're still ongoing there. I think we've been sort of sharing what we've learned as we've gone along. So I don't know if we need to go into any specific additional information. Arnold, do you have anything? I know Robin is not here. Arnold, are you there?
No, just the things that I mentioned the last time, and I think we're waiting to, as far as I know, we're waiting to schedule a meeting to sit down with the township to discuss our issues.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And we as a group of three, we were going to sort of, you know, corral our thoughts and plans before we ask for that, or we know what we're going to do. So hopefully, maybe by January, we should be ready to ask them for that meeting.
I would like to join that as well, because I have a lot of ideas about ways we can be leveraging township social media and the website to communicate to township members.
Oh, thank you.
So
I'd be glad to.
It's great.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm sorry. The other part was that, hold on here. I think we had talked about the stormwater ordinance and the state 8050 report in Franklin Township. You know, the 8050 report, Rutgers has had a presentation on it. Anjac had a presentation on it, and I think it's been shared with everybody. And the question is, how does it affect, you know, most municipalities directly, and specifically Franklin Township? And so that's what I'm looking into. Of course, you know, in order to meet the various goals, you know, it practically suggests that, I believe, I'm not sure if it's 2037, they want to achieve the tailpipe, the emission goals for 70% reduction of what it is now, I believe. And, you know, what role does we play in that? And, you know, part of the overall is that, you know, I think Paul sort of talked about it, commercial vehicles, going to hydrogen fuel, electric vehicles, certainly trying to get rid of the diesels and passenger cars. Will the state do like California or some of the other? I think there's another state, I don't know which one it is, has said that as of this date, no internal combustion engines will be sold, here.
Yep.
That's really a hard one. So, I'm trying to see if we can begin to think along the lines of how that does impact us. So maybe as you go forward, we can sort of intensify our efforts and see if anything pops out, for us that the Environmental Commission can play a role in. But I definitely think it will be going forward, but in the immediate future, perhaps that's not. Yeah. And as we go down the road, I know some of us won't even be around. We could make an impact before. All right. So Stan, why don't you sort of brief us and bring us up to date on what you want to talk about regarding Princeton?
Yes, sure. So Princeton Environmental Commission, my objective, am I muted? No. My objective was to just get an idea how they carry their meetings. So I went to the Princeton Township website. I visited the Environmental Commission page and the instructions. So there was one Zoom link for everyone, panelists, attendees. They don't actually use the terminology. Just it's just adding complexity and confusion. So. And I joined, it was like 5 minutes after they started. And the first thing was like, wow, there are like 44 people here, And so you cannot actually tell who is the member of Environmental Commission and who is a guest. People have, they choose whether they want to use a camera. Everybody is an adult, they are muted unless they want to speak. And essentially, the whole meeting started with public session. So there was a motion, of course, and to open it up. And it was about 1 hour when people were talking about their concerns. And the topic that I want to kind of simplify of that meeting was leaf blowers. Because apparently it is the contractors, it's a noise issue, and they are being overused, and there's also emission related to them. Yeah. So members of public, they were talking about the reasons why it should be different, why they should use electric, that they're quieter, that the high pitch noise is detrimental for your ears, that of the gas appliances. They were talking about the disadvantaged community that they actually, as employees, they're also impacted because they have to breathe the fumes and they have problems with the high noise. So they were talking about providing links to vendors, landscapers who are using quiet, they call it Quiet Princeton. And it's not just switching from gas appliance to electric, it's that for leaves, maybe it's better to actually rake them. And some companies really do offer it. It's better for mulching. They were talking about examples that some companies, they just want the employees to use it by a certain amount of time versus to have the task done. Anyway, so these are the details. But what I really like that it was very engaging. Princeton has about half the population of our town, but they have higher population density, and the average age is about the median age is 10 years younger than in our township. I don't know how that plays a role in my observation, how the Environmental Commission was operating, but lots of people were engaged, all ages, all
Mhm.
ages, and very diverse. So what I really liked is that they were using Zoom. They were not using any arguments like, hey, because we have to divide the audience, panelists versus attendees. And I think it's very much simpler. So this is just to say that we should tell our township to reconsider how we carry those meetings.
And I think this has been discussed several
Yes,
times.
yes,
that
but
the township is the one that tells us how we can run our meetings. I mean, I just,
Well,
but
technologically,
we have a
yeah.
precedence. We have a precedence, right?
of course we have a president. I'm sure there's other people also. But I mean, how do you want to do it? How would you like to do it, Stan? How would you like to address this?
We should tell manager that Princeton is doing it differently and more efficiently. That we should
Right,
not
if
be
it's not-
using two links, one for panelists and one for attendees. So
Well,
it
and if
doesn't have to. Yes.
Their whole argument for using WebEx was that it was more secure. But if another township in the state of New Jersey is using Zoom without issue, then it's clearly not a state mandated thing. It's a township specific thing. So then if it's good for other townships, why is it not okay for us? I also like doing the open to the public to start. I think that gives township members an opportunity to pose issues ahead of time. But yeah, I don't see why this can't be brought up again, especially with the example that another township is using Zoom without issue.
So I guess my question is, do we want to send an email to Bob Warnlocker, or what is it that we want to do? How do we want to do this?
I would rather go to Bob Warnlocker rather than Bob McQueen, because he's reporting to Bob.
That's what I said, Bob Warnlocker.
Yeah,
Bob Warnlocker is the one that's
yeah, he's the manager.
Right.
Yeah.
The boss.
Yeah. And I mean, if they figure how to keep using WebEx, but we have just one link per meeting, not two links. Why do we have to keep the audience, the public, as a kind of second level? And they cannot turn on their cameras, for example. What's the problem? Why they should be prevented from doing so? And by the way, as an anecdote, I attended also Franklin Township Trail Committee meeting, and as a public, right? So, and then I wanted to talk, and they moved to open, and then at the end, I muted myself. And when I muted myself, then the moderator actually was unable to mute me from her end, Tara. And I realized that I can unmute myself anytime after that, even though the public session was not on. So it really, this whole technology, the way how it's being used, is not making things easier. So I could speak even though I was not being asked to. Not that this is invitation to do so, but it's really, WebEx does not offer any benefit in this regard.
So again, I'm going to say we want to bring this. You're saying we want to bring this to Bob Warnlocker. So do you want to prepare a draft email that we can send to Bob Warnlocker?
I can do that.
And then we can take a look at that at the next meeting.
I motion for Stan to write a draft email that we can review at the next meeting. I'll help you, Stan.
Okay, cool. No, I'm still, in the learning process how to do stuff.
Well,
We're
you know,
all
I think-
always learning.
But even if we do decide, I think we should send it via Ted, because he has the ear of Bob, and I just think that we will get a quicker response.
Yeah. And again, the other reason why I'm highlighting the whole thing is that I was so impressed with the public engagement.
Well, that
Yeah.
you should
So
should
many
put that, instead of explaining it to us again, you should put that into the email that we are going to send to Bob. Well, actually, I agree with Walter that it should go to Ted because he is our liaison.
But that's the selling point, you know.
Well, where is our public? We were meeting in person. We were lucky
But
if
maybe they've been scared
one
away, you know,
person
because
attended.
I know.
Maybe
know.
we can recruit
Yeah.
some from Princeton.
Hi, Robin.
Well, maybe we are just so transparent otherwise that they don't need to come to the meeting, you know.
That must be it, Walter.
Yeah.
I think if we wrote really engaging pieces for the Franklin Times
Hey,
3 days a
Robin.
year. Hi, guys.
You're
think
not
it's
allowed here
cute.
till 8 o'clock, Robin. You're early.
I think the demographics are just a little different.
Yes, they
Yeah.
are. Yep.
But there are a lot of people in town that really care about this stuff, but I think we're so low profile, people even don't think about us.
Yep.
If we wrote some interesting pieces regularly in the Franklin Times,
Or
It might-
that's why the website and social media, like if we like everyday household ways for people to save on electricity, use less water, like all of the things we're discussing, like asking township members, how do they feel how PSE&G is handling utilities? Do they feel they need to be like,
Right.
like we could be doing some of those things, and that would have us directly engage with the township members, which brings them to our meetings.
What I would be interested in is if Stan was to go to another one of these Princeton meetings, if they had another 47 people or whatever it was, or I'm just wondering because what they were talking about with the leaf blowers is a statewide very high profile issue, and it has been for years. And if that was on their agenda to talk about for that
No,
meeting, that
I
could
don't
be the
think
reason.
so.
You don't think what?
Well, because in our township, we don't care about leaf blowers.
No, you're wrong about that. This is a statewide issue. People complain about them all the time. And if this was on the agenda, I know that it's a statewide issue because I'm on the New
Oh.
Jersey Noise Control Council.
Oh,
So I hear
okay.
about it. And it's possible that if this was an agenda item, that's why they had a lot of people. Maybe they have that many people all the time. I don't know. I'm just bringing it up that maybe because of that agenda item.
Mm.
Yeah.
Arnie, do you know, can municipalities enact resolutions curbing gasoline-powered leaf blowers? Is that permitted under the noise laws?
Well, two things. One, the answer is no, not under the noise laws, but there are towns, one in particular that I can think of, and I have it right here. Maplewood enacted an ordinance that bans the use of gas-powered, non-electric leaf blowers. It's prohibited within the township of Maplewood from May 15th through September 30th of each year by all commercial entities. Now, this is a separate standalone ordinance having nothing to do with noise. The noise regulations, the state noise regulations regulate sound levels. Local ordinances, such as Franklin has a model ordinance, they can regulate the time of day that equipment is used, but they can't ban the equipment.
All right.
I noticed that ordinance bans them during the period when leaves are not falling.
Right, exactly. Yeah, because people use them, to clean off their deck or their sidewalk, or for whatever reason. But that's that's for commercial businesses. Residents would still be able to use them, anytime they want to. But landscapers use them, all the time. all
That's
the
right.
time.
To move grass clippings, they use.
Yeah, and I find them extremely annoying.
Okay,
But that's the way. That would be, one of the ways to go is to just do what Maplewood did.
Yeah. It would help.
It's a step in the right direction.
okay, good.
So what do we do about that?
Well, the idea that that Stan has of sharing his experience, and perhaps
Well,
You know,
Stan's going to talk about the usefulness of the website or WebEx meetings, but what about the issue of the leaf blowers?
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. He also, you weren't here when he did that. He
Okay.
reported before you came.
So
he
do you want
proposed
to put that on the agenda for our next meeting if that's something that you want to discuss? And if it's on the agenda, maybe people will see it on the agenda and come and join us. Who knows?
I think that makes the most sense.
But how do we get the word out? It's on the agenda.
Well, it goes to the it's posted on the website. And
yeah, that's not enough. Yeah.
No, I understand that, but what else is there?
If you make
I
it
know.
far enough in advance, you publish it in the Franklin Times.
Yeah, I think that's the way to do.
Or
Yeah.
you send something to the Franklin Advocate.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can do that.
Let Bill do it.
Well,
And
Franklin
just-
Times
and just
doesn't
say-
exist, so
Just say something about that this is going to be an issue discussed at the next environmental commission meeting. If anybody is interested, join us.
Is Bill out there today?
Bill's always out there.
no, nobody.
He's way out there.
We don't even have the Franklin reporter.
Oh, we don't,
No.
We don't.
but we can still
It's a
engage him.
record meeting.
I think he has the ability, can he access the recordings of the meeting?
I don't know.
Once
He
it
has
goes
a
on
very-
to, once it's posted on the township website, I would imagine.
The video gets posted earlier before the meeting minutes.
If somebody has his email, could you encourage him to view it?
Sure, we could do that. And he may show up before the meeting is over. I don't know, nevertheless. But we can take extraordinary means to make sure that he knows that we want to talk about this at our next meeting, and we want him to help us publish and to engage him on that point.
Great.
So, and he may have suggestions, about how best to, using his media to get that out.
Yeah.
Okay. Why don't we do that?
Well, you
And
can
go ahead. So,
No, just that you can just send him an email, and just, like a one paragraph email and
Yeah.
say, Bill, just to let you know, this is something we're going to be discussing. And I would like, actually it can be something titled, gas power leaf blowers. The Franklin Township Environmental Commission will be discussing this at their next meeting on January, whatever it is.
yeah,
We would like as many people from Franklin Township who are interested in this subject to join us. And no, I'm not going to send it to him. Somebody else can send it to him. I don't want to be the person that is initiating this as a member of the New Jersey Noise Control Council. I don't want to be the
Okay.
person that's initiating this.
It should be.
All right, I'll take care of that.
In effect, the Environmental Commission can put out a press release notifying the public that it is going to discuss this at its next meeting. And it will be public participation.
Yeah, but nobody's gonna read a press release. We're gonna get
The
more
press
traction.
release goes to the press. In other words, to Bill Bowman and
Tap into also. Some people just read tap into. So I can go to both of them.
I think time.
So I
That's-
personally think social media is gonna get more traction. It's If I'm being honest, like more people are apt to, if we did a post saying, join us like the day before, join us tomorrow or the week before, join us on Monday for.
What social media do you have? Where would we post it, Jessica?
Yeah, do it for all of them.
Because that's the best in terms of being able to like write out lots of information. That or Twitter.
What was the first one you said? You got cut off.
Facebook.
Do we have a Facebook page?
Township does, yeah.
The township does. Does the Environmental Commission have one?
No, I don't think so. But there is an dedicated employee who is sending out those, right? Tap into Facebook and stuff.
Robin, we asked about having our own social media arm, and we were told that they would prefer we do everything through the township channels.
Yeah, our landscapers at Canal Walk and in Somerset Run and in Renaissance all use leaf blowers all year, not all year, but in the time to get everything done. And if they go to electric, is that going to raise the cost to the associations?
Well,
that's not in the contract at this point.
The electric ones aren't as powerful as the gas ones, but obviously a lot of people have said, well, and Stan even mentioned it, why can't they just rake the leaves? Well, that means that, which would be great. However, it's a lot more manpower, takes a lot longer, which means then people's costs would go up because it takes a lot longer to do properties.
All of these arguments were actually elaborated in Princeton meeting. It was very interesting. They debunked the cost thing, because you may pay a little bit more upfront, but to run them is much cheaper. Just like electric car is much cheaper to run versus gas car, the same applies to the leaf blower.
Well, again, this is something that we should be discussing during our meeting next time.
Yeah, okay.
When it's actually an agenda item.
Okay, we'll make sure that it gets on the agenda and that it's pre-publicized in as many media as possible.
When is our next meeting?
January 3rd?
11th.
11th. Okay.
11th, okay.
Okay, good. Well, thank you, Stan.
We didn't address the item B under new business, which was storm frequency and intensity in New Jersey triggers new state report on Isaias. Cost benefit of undergrounding discussion highlighted an update. So is there?
I guess we were sort of waiting for Robin to come in, but yeah, we can go back to that. I mean, we didn't skip over it per se, but maybe we sort of rearranged it.
Do we have new update?
Yeah, what's the latest?
Robin, you're muted.
My husband's doing the dishes, so it's a little loud here. I have no update other than I reported last meeting about my conversation with Upendra, which was a follow-up to the letter Jessica sent out for us. And he suggested that we go to Bob Smith, which I told you I would do. I have not done that yet. I think it's best to do that after the holidays when he can give it some attention. I've been reading the articles you've been sending us, Walter, which I think is hopeful.
Yeah.
And I just think we need to keep some pressure on. I still think we need to get to the Board of Public Utilities to do the long-term study, but that request probably has to come from the legislature. So I will reach out to Bob, and I think it's equally effective for all of us to write to our assemblymen and ask them the same thing. Ask Joe Danielson, what's the assembly saying about long-term effects? Is Joe Egan still our assemblyman, or did he just step down?
Joe Danielson is our, yeah.
Well, if anyone wants copies of the letter we sent, I have it. I can easily share it so that you have the exact question right there.
Yeah. And I think if each of us send it individually, it would be a good idea.
I missed what was the letter about again? I'm sorry, I was off for a minute.
Utilities. and
Okay.
requesting a study of the long-term costs and benefits, not the short term, but the long term.
I'd just like to add something that I don't know if this will help us at all, but I'm sure Ted knows this, but I don't know if anybody else does. But Crystal Pruitt, who's one of our councilwomen here, was recently hired by the BPU.
As a
And
commissioner,
she was
right?
hired as a deputy director to lead clean community energy equity work. So she could be possibly another contact for us with the BPU.
Is she gonna leave the council, Arnold?
No,
No.
it's her day job.
Oh, that's a day job, okay.
Okay.
Martin Carney, do you want to send her the same letter?
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
we can send her that letter.
Yep.
I think it'd be a good idea. The more pressure points,
Yeah.
the better. And ask
Okay.
if she could respond to our environmental commission. She might be more responsive than Kendra was.
I think
Yeah.
she would be.
Yeah, Paul, can you just send that letter out, or whoever has it? I'm sorry, not Paul, but
I have it.
JJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you could send that letter out.
I'm gonna send it to everybody right now.
Okay.
Okay.
And Walter, there was one thing under new business that we didn't really address that I think would be nice for us to address.
Okay.
We have a new member, Maria Santiago, who it's her first meeting that she's at. If she would want to introduce herself to us so that we can hear her voice and see if she has anything that she'd like to say.
Okay.
She's there, but she doesn't have the video on, just the audio at this point.
Oh,
Can we-
okay.
What do we have to
Let
do?
me, I can start my video. Okay.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah. Okay.
What happened?
Thank you for your software to get into the call today. That's what I was late.
Okay.
That's number one. So for me, that was a barrier of accessibility. So
Yeah, we have a little more experience, so we'll share it with you
I
as
read
little tricks.
what Stan was bringing from his Princeton experience. Also, I live in the outskirts of Franklin, Somerset, close to New Brunswick.
No, it froze, yeah.
Receive less services, or the services, because of the demographics where I'm living right now, are different from the main town. I'm having connections with issue, which could be considered also an environmental.
Okay. All right.
You kind of got
issue.
frozen.
I know it's very poor. My connection here is poor, and I work sometimes remote from my school, and I lose my connection with parents and.
Okay.
Well, hopefully 6 months from now that we can meet in person.
In social
Maria, I have a question.
media. Let me finish this thought because this is important. I want you to look at your demographics and decide if that expands. Another way of bringing more engagement into the community is going to schools. I don't know if you have partnered with Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, because kids bring parents as well. Those
Excellent point.
were the other, I'm learning a lot. And there are many issues that are new for me, that in those issues you won't hear me because I am trying to take notes to learn what's going on in the town. And thank you again.
Thank you. All right. I don't know with regard to the connectivity issue, if Bob McQueen might have some suggestion or some experience, and I'll sort of run it by him to see what he has to say. But we would like to improve it if there's any way to do so. All right. And as Honor was saying, maybe we'll go back to face-to-face meetings before very long, so we won't have that issue. Nevertheless, everybody will have to drive to be there. Nevertheless, okay, good. So did we discuss that in its entirety, Arnold? Did he leave? Where is it? There you are.
Me?
Yeah,
Still there.
yeah.
I'm here.
Okay,
Well-
all right. So in terms of new business, I think we've covered everything, have we not?
Most in them.
Yep.
Okay. So if we continue, we can do updates on some of the other things. We have quite a few. And I'm trying to look at my agenda here now.
Walter, does it make sense for the old business just to sort of, instead of going line by line, is it maybe more efficient to just say, does anyone have any updates on any of the items under old business? And then if there are no updates, then we open to the public? Would that be?
We don't
Yeah,
have anyone in public.
That's a good idea. That's more efficient.
I'll second that emotion.
Yep.
Okay.
Emotion, not emotion.
Move in second that we just ask everybody for, updates on the old business, and then we open
Open to the
to the
public.
public. Yeah. So it's approved. It's
Robin
The
has an
motion's carried.
update.
okay. So, can all you see the agenda there?
No.
Walter?
Walter,
Yes.
Robin has an update.
I can,
Okay, good.
I can give an update on stormwater management.
Yes.
Arnie and Paul and I are working right now on reviewing the model ordinance from the DEP compared to what the Watershed Institute compared to Princeton. And I'm going to be typing up a summary of our findings. And we would like to send that via TED to both Mark and Carl, because Ted's indicated that he provided them with those other model ordinances,
Mhm.
and hope that we may have some input into what they draft, and share the same information with the commission in general, because if it may be that they don't take any input, and our only opportunity would be when it's being considered by the council, and then maybe we in the public portion could speak to it if everybody has a working understanding of what we would like to see in that ordinance. And basically, I think we'll see that there are measurements that the state came up with that both the Watershed Institute and Princeton made more stringent. And I think we would like to go along with them in those more stringent guidelines, which provides more protection for the town. And also write a short narrative in the form of bullet points to really emphasize green roofs because of the heavy, heavy warehouse development in town. So Ted, what do you think of that strategy?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that before our next meeting, the three of us, Arnie, Paul, and I, will have reviewed our notes and come to an agreement, and then we'll send it out to everybody so you can all see it before the meeting in January.
Ted, have you heard anything new as to where they are on this? Because I think the last time we were told by Carl via email to Robin that he was going to send you the final draft or the final document to you in December. And then we would have the opportunity to review it. But, that would be too late for us. Our big thing is that we want to be able to provide our input prior to anything being finalized. We do not want to be having to go to the council to give our comments. It's better if we can provide our comments, while they're working on the document so they can consider our input while they're working on it. And the last meeting, we were told, well, in the email from Carl, in the last meeting when Mark was with us, he said he was not working on the document, but now based on what you learned, Ted, Mark is working with Carl, and I believe there's one other person that's working. So there's 3 of them that are working on the document.
Yeah, no, it's Scott Thomas. Yeah.
Arnie,
Yeah,
I
I
did just check the email.
Pardon me?
Arnie, in the email that I got from Carl, he did not mention the month of December. I just checked it. So that might have come from some other source. I vaguely
Okay.
remember that, but it was
Okay.
not in his email to me.
Okay.
Well, I think when Mark realized the March 3rd due date, it galvanized him.
I think Robin and I had a conversation today, and we came to that same conclusion.
I want to add, there is a section in our ordinance that does talk about vegetative remedies for stormwater flow. Very short, very brief, but that might give us a latch, something to hook onto. It's in there. It's not on the others.
Ah,
Paul, would you say that again? I'm sorry. I
There's a
missed it.
section in our ordinance that proposes using vegetative means to retain stormwater flow. They don't talk about a roof at all. They're just talking about vegetation on the site. But
Right.
that could be an opening for us to insert some stuff in that area.
Yeah.
It's already there.
That could be green roofs. It could be
Exactly.
right, green roofs, but also rainwater gardens. Also, gardens also.
So there's a structure we can work with. And
Yeah.
that's, I think, as Robin and us go through it, we'll be able to maybe use that as a, as a hook.
And
So
I,
hopefully we have a document for you guys well before the next meeting, so that we can send it to you for your review, not for discussion through emails, as a quorum, but for everybody to review it, and then we can discuss it at our January 11th meeting.
Maria, we're gonna need your email address for everybody.
My email address?
Yeah, see?
Okay. You want me here? Okay, I can put it here in the chat.
and Stan, maybe send Maria the roster and she can include herself.
Paul, the email I just sent with the note has Maria on it.
Yeah,
Good.
I've been receiving a
Okay.
lot of,
Oh, very good. Good.
But she should be
Okay.
added to our roster that Stan has built.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's one of those things that's going to be discussed with the ET people, where there are people missing from it, and now Maria can be added to it as well.
Good.
What do you mean people missing from the WebEx meet group?
No.
No,
on
no,
the
no, no.
website.
The
On the
website.
website.
Oh, on the website. Okay.
oh, yeah.
Don't get defensive.
I just was like, no, they're all there.
Walter, I can also give a small update on the BPU Community Energy Planning Grant. I did remember I told you I wanted to do research on the Fourth Ward and what kind of things could we work on that would really benefit the most underserved part of town. And I had a good conversation with Frank Hasner late this afternoon, talking about the food bank clientele. And he's going to connect me with their intern who is in his mid-20s and is really focused on social services and what does that population need. So I'm looking forward to that. And I have a telephone conversation after New Year's scheduled with the executive director of the Central Community Development Corp, which is a spinoff of First Baptist of Lincoln Gardens.
Okay.
And they're designed to serve that part of town as well. So I'm hoping we'll get some information that will guide us if we want to do a community energy planning grant and we want to focus on that part of town. What is it that we might want to do rather than us think of something? Let's find out what the true needs are and go from there. So,
Walter, I did mention to send that letter that we sent to Amazon to the site here on Randolph. But maybe sending a similar letter to LG on Veronica might evoke some attention as well. Because that's 100,000 square feet on their roof.
That is proposed to be used in the community solar program.
That's what it was already. Okay. Yeah.
And on that subject, Ted, did you learn anything more about subscription and what that entails?
No, I haven't.
Because I talked about that with Frank today, and I said, we'd like to find a way to do this so that people who have to choose between getting food and paying their rent or getting food and paying their utility bill, could those same people take advantage of the community solar, but not if there's a subscription that creates a real barrier. So
Have to find out what that means and how it works.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, very good. All right. Now, there were some other, well, maybe I'll just go through real quickly because I'm not sure all of you have it before you, but
Well, Walter, remember we opened it up. Does anybody not have the agenda in front of them?
Yeah.
I would like to make a suggestion that from this point on, I know there's been people that, sometimes we've put the agenda up on the screen. If everybody can just print out the agenda so they have it in front of them and we don't have to show it on the screen,
Right.
I think it would be beneficial.
Some
Just my suggestion.
do that.
okay, very good. Well, certainly the idea is to have it before you, whether you have it on a different device or you still have a printer that works or whatever, so.
Or you just have it open in another window and you flip back and
Yeah.
forth. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah,
You can
that's
do
what I'm
that.
doing too.
You can do that. You can do that. Okay. But if we sort of go down real quickly here, we want to urge you to continue to think about 2021 Environmental Stewardship Awards. We don't want to begin to focus, just around September. We want to start thinking right now. And, maybe in the interim, we can get more details so we can make a decision, at the November meeting about, who we want to select. Stan, do you have anything additional regarding the EV analytic evaluation?
No, I do it on a monthly basis. So the next one will be in January.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Oh, and we have not heard back on that subject. I had emailed the mayor with the specifics we wanted. He has not responded to me.
Okay.
I assume he's not responded to you, Stan. So after
Correct.
next week, I will send him a second request.
Okay.
I just don't want to, Walter. I don't know that we need to go through the whole list.
No, I'm not going to go through. I think we've covered everything, basically.
I have a question. I apologize, I missed the beginning. Do we have a meeting yet scheduled with the website people?
No, we feel that we would perhaps have our information together, and in January we would ask them for a meeting date. So that's the plan right now. But
So,
not us.
okay.
All
And
right.
then perhaps a new thing. Do we have a township climate action plan?
Can we, before you get to that, Robin, can we just step back to what you first talked about? The meeting with IT?
Yeah, sure.
Before we get to that second item, first of all, Jessica has joined us on that subcommittee to meet with IT.
Bob McQueen?
And yes, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in the next couple of days, I said that I have about 7 items that I would like to address. I will put them in an email. I will send them to people that are in our group, and then anybody else who wants to add to that, share it, add to it and share that with the group, and everybody can keep adding until we have everything in one document. And then we will be prepared to meet with IT.
Okay.
Does that sound all right?
Yeah. Okay. So in terms of old business, any additional updates of items that are there without going through line by line? then maybe we can, you said there's no one out in the public there?
No, there's no public.
Walter, before we go off,
Yeah,
I've been trying to keep a list of action items. Could we just review that so everybody knows what they're going to do for the next meeting?
absolutely. Mhm.
Okay. Ted's going to find out more about the subscription component to the community solar project. Arnie's going to get in touch with Ms. Pruitt at the BPU, maybe send her the letter on undergrounding. I'm going to get in touch with Bob Smith, the two people from Central Jersey CDC and Food Bank. I'm going to send a second request to Phil Kramer about electric vehicles. Arnie, Paul and I are going to work on our stormwater management document. Walter, you're going to get the leaf blower item out there on the township social media.
Yeah.
And everybody is going to take advantage of this letter Jessica just sent out to contact our assemblyman on the subject of undergrounding. Did I miss anything?
So I wanted to type in the arguments for to make
Zoom.
well, Zoom. It's more than just Zoom. I mean, it was kind of simplified that it's about Zoom, but the other thing that I forgot to mention was that at no point the commission was dealing about how to communicate with the township. Okay. Struggles, how to reach out, this one, that one, IT, you know, electric vehicles use, they don't have, but just as an example. So I'm rather ranting against the township rather than what actionable steps we can do. But the actionable, what we can do, and what I said to do is to put down all the action items, and so that we can vote on it during the next meeting and send it out about the benefits of using Zoom and why the WebEx is not actually giving us
more effective remote meetings.
Yeah, it's just be more effective, because I was really impressed that the Princeton EC meeting had 46 was the peak attendance, and everybody was at the same level. We have two tiers. We have the panelists and we have attendees. And then when we vote, we allow the panelists to speak up. In Princeton, they're all equal. And they're adults, so they don't speak unless they're being told, okay, now you can speak up, because there is always one host, which in our case, it's Jessica, who can just say, you know, I'll mute you, I'll force mute you, right? So it's all doable. And it just makes the public more engaged. So, you know.
So you're gonna write up the points we want to have more effective.
Yes. The other action item that I had was to update the list of contacts with Maria, which I just did, and I shared the file with her. If she can access the files through her AOL account, perfect. If not, she might need to have Gmail account. Maria, do you have Gmail account?
Yes, I do. It's a different one. Do you want me to type? I can type it here now.
Well, go ahead.
It's not.
Well, don't put it out on the public here. I think it should be just something kept internally.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Yeah, I send you the invite, Maria, so you should receive it, and we'll take it from here.
Okay.
And the last item I forgot to mention in action items is that the site team for the EC is going to meet. Arnie, are you going to pull that meeting, or is Walter going to pull that meeting together? And it now includes Jessica.
Well, we can email back and forth as soon as we get all of our information, our comments together. I guess we can decide on, you know, when we're going to meet.
Okay. So you want to make sure you have all those comments from us by what date?
I didn't know that I was the one that was accumulating, but if I am, that's fine. ASAP.
All right, good.
Well, is it just our comments, or should we get on a call, the subcommittee, just to kind of run through the goal of the note and then send comments, or just use that as the time to aggregate comments?
I think my point was that the subcommittee will put all of our comments together in one document. If you think it's necessary that we can send to everybody else. But if you think it's necessary for us to have a meeting first.
I mean,
I don't know.
I'm doing a meeting. If you guys don't want to, that's fine too.
I mean, again, let's see what we put together in the next week. I would say try and get it together before the New Year's, before January 1st. I will try and get my list out in the next day or so. And everybody else can put theirs in writing, and then just send me a document, a Word document of what they have, and then I will combine all the Word documents of everybody's ideas of what they think needs to be done to upgrade our website.
Okay.
Good. All right. Thanks, Honor, for taking the lead there. Okay. What else is on your mind there in terms of sustainable Jersey? I know, Ted, you were telling me last time it's pretty quiet right now.
I keep getting notices about technical assistance they can provide for energy actions. I think I forwarded that to Robin.
Yep.
Today. I think when you formulate something to work on, then maybe you can get help from them.
Yeah, I think that was by February, though. We have to move pretty fast.
Yeah.
It would be great to have their help. So thank you for that resource.
Walter, is that in reference to item B under old business, sustainable Jersey?
Yeah.
Because looking at under old business item L, it says sustainability officer. How related they are, I'm not sure, but I would like to see that item be sustainability officer / grants coordinator, just to keep it in people's heads, including people in management who may or may not read this, to keep that in their heads that is a possibility or an idea to make that one job for one person, combine that job, sustainability officer and grants coordinator.
Well, as long as it doesn't dilute either of them too much, or two part-time people.
Well, right now it's I believe it's Bob Vornlocker and one other person who have full-time jobs that are now doing the grants coordinator job. They've taken that on. It used to be, the township used to have a grants coordinator as one job only. And now we don't have that job, position at all. It's been absorbed by these other people. And now we don't have a sustainability officer either. So the point being, try and get the two together.
If you found the person who had both skill sets, that would be great.
Absolutely, sure.
Yeah. Which, and I think that's a good segue, Arnie, into a climate action plan. Because it's easier to justify a sustainability officer if we have a climate action plan. And it came to my attention when reading through the Princeton stuff. Princeton has, out of their climate action plan, one of the things that evolved out of it was their new stormwater ordinance. And I read on the ANJEC website, a handbook for, I don't know if it was in the handbook or generally on the website, they encourage environmental councils to develop a municipal climate action plan.
Oh.
And Princeton has this climate action plan?
Yes.
And now is that a document that you, I don't know if you have already, but if not, can you share that plan with all of us so we can?
I don't know, it's the information you sent us on the Princeton ordinances. It's referred to in the opening, the resolution that opens their stormwater ordinance refers to the climate action plan as being one of the reasons they come forward. They're endorsing this new stormwater ordinance. So I'm going to go on their website right now and see if I can find it.
If you can't find it, I'll get it from David.
Oh yeah, it was from you, Paul, that we got this.
Right, yeah.
Very good. Very good.
Ted, do
I
you know
thanked him
anything?
Friday night for sending us that stuff. I saw him Friday night on the Zoom.
Oh,
Right.
Ted, do you know anything about climate action plans generally throughout the state?
No.
Okay.
If NJAC recommends them, NJAC probably knows something about it.
Okay.
Just on the sustainable Jersey front, we will be due for recertification next year. As soon as I can clear away some things that I have to finish up, like the grades in the course that I taught in, I was not the only instructor. I will have to reconvene, or at least re-notify the green team, and the green team will be reappointed at reorganization, because the Sustainable Jersey always wants to see an up-to-date appointment of the green team as a necessary part of application. But it will be time to get going on that again. I'm going to, since I'm not planning to run again for council, I will probably state to the manager that this will be the last one of these that I do, and I would look to the sustainability officer to do this in the future.
Okay.
So Ted, that brings up a whole other issue. You are going to be on council until a year from now, January, a year from now?
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for the heads up. Yeah.
Which means that unless a position opens up, you would no longer be on the Environmental Commission if you wanted to join us as one of those positions opens up.
Well, I would want to, and I can, in the meantime, serve as Jane Albanowski did, which Dave Triggs would remember, as non-appointed voluntary secretary.
I like that idea.
Yes.
I'm trying to remember the exact term she used. But that was
Non-appointed volunteer.
I would certainly make a motion to allow that.
Yeah. We would welcome that.
When the time comes.
When the time comes.
No.
Wonderful. All right.
I'll just say I'll send you a draft of these minutes as soon as possible. Some titles that were given I didn't get down, so I'll ask people. So, like, what is Crystal Pruitt's new title?
It is the Deputy Director to lead clean energy equity work, I believe is what it is.
Deputy Director
to lead clean energy equity work. Well, I'll leave out the word work. It's just Deputy Director to lead clean energy equity.
Sounds like she would be the perfect person to contact about what you can put forward for an energy plan for low-income communities.
I just wrote that down. I'll reach out to her too, Ted.
Yeah, as soon as she finds out about it herself.
Yeah, she just started it. She just began the job actually almost exactly a month ago, November 23rd.
Yeah, we just heard about it at the last council meeting.
Okay,
I've heard about it somewhat earlier from one of the mailings from BPU.
all right. Okay.
I'm just sending everybody the link to Princeton Township's Community Action Plan. So that'll be in your inbox.
Okay.
All right. Okay, wonderful, wonderful. And, we were talking about, how does the 80-50 plan affect us? I think that in a circuitous way does, but we'll find the more direct link. But even if we prepare it now, at some point later, I'm sure we can use it in other ways. So that's good. All right. Is somebody ready to recommend?
I move we
adjournment?
open to the public.
There's no
okay.
public.
There's nobody out there. Okay. Get a second?
Second.
It's been moved and second that we open to the public. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. Open to the public.
Make a motion to close to the public.
Second.
Been moved and second that we close to the public. All in favor say aye.
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 All right. Very good. Okay. Adjournment.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Moved and second that we adjourn. Thank you very much. And thank you, Maria.
Happy
Happy holidays. Happy New Year.
Yeah, happy
Well,
holidays.
Happy New Year, happy holidays.
Yes, everyone.
True.
All right.
Happy
All right.
New Year, happy holidays, guys, everyone.
Okay.
Okay.
And be safe.
Be safe.
Walter, if you didn't know it, but your Christmas tree is spinning. I don't know if you knew that, but it's going around. Unless it's me, I don't know. Maybe it's the drugs I took.
No, it is.
It's that eggnog.
No, it does spin. It has all these gyrations. So, okay, very good.
Ted,
All right.
thank you for
One
doing
thing,
it.
I just
All right.
remind you, Bob McQueen sent members of the commission the links for the meetings for the next 6 months.
Yeah.
Probably hasn't sent it to Maria. We need to
Oh,
do that.
And if you accept his invitation, if you have Google, if you have Outlook, if you have one of many different things, if you accept it, it should go to your calendar. And all you have to do is go to your calendar, and if it's there, you click on it, and that should
I don't
help
have
you
it,
go
by
in.
the way.
So, and then it's an invitation for Google Meets,
No,
No.
it's for WebEx.
WebEx. Oh,
It's run on WebEx.
But we didn't receive any invite. We received only send of.
Back
No,
in
we were-
he
October.
sent it out to all of us. Yes, he did.
Well, it was
Oh.
email, but it was not
Oh,
meeting
okay.
invite.
Yeah, he sent an email, and if you look in the upper left-hand corner, it said it was an invite that you could accept it now, you could accept it later, or whatever. And all you have to do is click on accept now. And when you click on accept now, depending on what kind of system you have, it should go to your calendar.
I'll try to look it up again, but I didn't see that.
Okay. Yeah, he sent that out about a week and a half ago, I think, or something like that.
I just tried to post one and it says the link to the event is no longer valid
What?
for the January 11th one. So
My goodness.
He did send us,
For the next 6 months.
yeah,
the
but
the other ones seem to work, but the one for January 11th says the event is no longer valid. So I'm going to reply to him now and just say,
Okay.
I'm
Thank you.
looking at the email he sent us on December 9, and it lists them, does not give us the option to save to our calendar.
That's why I responded to him, and his response was,
I'll send you
"You
a
will get
reminder today.
that you will get a reminder." I don't need to have it in my calendar, and I don't have it.
Actually, I'm looking at it now. Previously, it was on my calendar, and it has now disappeared from my calendar. for January 11th.
Yeah, I just emailed him. You can
Ooh.
also copy the link and just put it into your calendar for the day of the meeting.
Easy for you to say. Well, would you know what the date of his email was again? Because usually when you accept when you accept that email from him, when you click on accept, that email disappears and the date goes to your calendar. So I'm not even sure if I have that email anymore.
I just replied all and told him that January is showing up as not valid. So you can just scroll down and it's right there. I literally just sent the email.
And you might also consider, just putting that in a folder and, work off that if you want to.
Well, it's nice if he can get us the link to our calendar, because then we get reminded.
Yes.
I agree.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, you would have it in both places. If it would tend to disappear from a regular email, then I'm not sure that it wouldn't be saved also in the calendar. In the folder. So you would have it both places.
He usually does send reminders.
Okay.
If he's taking over the scheduling as we asked, he should be sending reminders.
All right.
You know what? I had accepted all of what he sent, and they were on my calendar, and now I am looking, and they are no longer on my calendar for February, January, February, March.
Nothing. Yeah.
So they have disappeared.
Well, let's to resend with an invitation to populate our calendar.
Yes, maybe yeah, that needs to be done.
Walter, can you do that? I think it'd be best coming from you.
Sure, I can do that. Sure. Okay.
And make sure that Maria is on that list.
All right. Very good. Anything else? Thanks, Jessica, for picking up on that. Oh my goodness.
No worries.
All right. You have a motion to adjourn if there's nothing else.
I second.
Just a happy holidays again.
Can attempt to adjourn.